Let's talk about all the things that make products truly exceptional. It could be a real innovation, a painkiller of sorts. You could be delivering on the quality, and perhaps the cost is compelling. But a Walker study pointed something out that caught our attention. It said that by 2020, customer experience would overtake price and product behavior as the key brand differentiator. And that set our thoughts rolling. How can we work together a way to deliver a truly exceptional customer experience? Hello and welcome to Totally Worth It, our podcast series where we dive into things that are fascinating and share with you things that are, well, truly worth it. My name is Ashwin, and joining me today is Abhishek Bhate, our Managing Director and CEO here at Wurth IT. Hey Abhishek, thanks for plugging in.
Thanks, Ashwin. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to see you again.
Now, you wrote an article about building a truly compelling customer experience. Now, what are the building blocks of this? And for a company that wants to truly emulate this, how do they go about it?
Well, simply put, I think you have to get one thing right: get your customer at the center of everything that you do, right? And see the world from their perspective. That is the golden rule. It's not what you can offer them; it's what they need, right? That's super important for us. Now, consumers' expectations have gone digital, and there's no turning back, right? Regardless of a shift back towards a pre-pandemic life, the convenience and flexibility of a digital customer experience is here to stay. Now, businesses need to adopt the digital solutions to keep customers satisfied and continue growing their businesses. So it's actually changing from to a pull model from a push model, right? Earlier, if you realize, if you look, a couple of decades back, uh, earlier what we used to do was we had to have an inside-out approach rather than an outside-in approach toward customer experience. For a long time, the inside-out approach was we need to do what is best for us, not what is best for our customers. For most of us, the most important driver for shareholder value is the efficient use of our resource and our talent, right? Now, this is changing. This is changing over time, and it's being driven by the pervasiveness of social media and digital communication channels, right? Customers and consumers now have a platform which they can amplify their positive or negative feedbacks for millions of eyes to see. Now, because of this publicized sentiment, inevitably impacts our reputation. We as businesses have abandoned the inside out approach in favor of the inverse of it, right? With the outside in approach, businesses need to adopt the view of the organization through the customer's eyes. Decisions are made based on what's best for the consumer and how to best meet the customer's needs. Outside in organizations are laser focused now on the customer journey, making happy customers, building a successful business around them, and ultimately driving up the shareholder value. Now, the few key points that everybody needs to remember is we need to gather and listen to the customer feedback wherever it exists. It's usually not about the written customer feedback, but it's about seeing those crumbs wherever they are, right? Like they say, it doesn't have to be a structured feedback. You listen to it wherever you can get to it, right? It has to be non-organic, unstructured, and your ear should always be on the ground, right? And most importantly, respond to all feedback. Do it really, really quickly. Now, responding to feedback in a timely manner, wherever it is, negative or positive, sends a message to our customers that you're paying attention and committed to making a customer your top priority. We need to future-proof your business model by making customer experience, customer success, and customer loyalty a company priority. We as Wurth IT learned that over the journey of multiple years, and we realized that even though face-to-face interactions are on a hiatus, but rules of customer experience haven't changed. It doesn't matter. You really need to be out there. You need to be talking to your people. You need to be talking to your customers and partners, and you need to be listening into what they really need. Paying this close attention is very, very important. And this customer-centric culture needs to be imbibed and ingrained into your entire organization. Honestly, we all need to evaluate our businesses, recognize that there's more work to be done, and get around to doing it. We need to actually deal with our skeletons, which are in the closet if we are not doing the right thing. So I think as companies in the 21st century era, we need to tweak our business models, get around to doing what is needed, and bring that customer centricity for our consumers and our customers.
Just coming back to what you were saying there, in the sense that the rules of engagement haven't changed, and you were talking about feedback, right? And feedback is keeping a keen ear to listen to what people are saying. And the more you listen, the more data you're accumulating. And this is where we enter the realm of big data. And the funny part of big data is All the answers are there for people to look at and listen and interpret, but there is so much desired when it comes to implementation. So, what are the real roadblocks for people and companies to using this data to their advantage? It's 101, right?
So I wish it was that simple, right? We all know it, we just don't see it correctly, right? So the way I would like to put it is, it's like finding the signal in the noise. There is a lot of data all around us. There is a lot of information that is coming from all sources around us. But are we able to make sense of all of it? I don't think so. It's difficult to get insights out of a huge lump of data, right? So one has to focus on the biggest issues faced by these businesses when handling things like big data. And it's actually a classic needle in a haystack problem. There is so much information around you that you need to see the ones that is very important for you, right? I think uh, today's businesses have data in silos, very much in silos, because systems are not integrated, and eventually it leads to non-integrated data, right? I would say data silos are basically the kryptonite of businesses. What they do is store all that wonderful data you have in separate disparate units, right? And the one silo is not talking to the other silo, therefore no insight can be gathered out of it because it simply isn't integrated. Now, how can you make a C-level decision uh, when you're not able to integrate data across functions, and then you're eventually left at making this decision at a snail's pace? I think that is the reason why your sales and marketing teams simply don't look eye to eye. These are the reasons where your finance is not able to give you your key metrics at the snap of a finger, right? And these are the very reasons where we feel that the larger companies are not able to adopt or be as nimble as the smaller companies, which are able to offer something better to our customers. Definitely, the big problem obviously is inaccurate data. Maintaining the way the data should be, not only in silos but also at an operational level, it has to be absolutely correct, and it has to have the kind of cohesion and uniformity all across, which is like something like a master data management that you need to inculcate into your company. Um, Other things is the changing technology these days, right? It's moving too fast. Your systems are changing, your systems are upgrading, your data sets are changing. And what happens is this leads to the siloing of the data. This leads to different data sets from the same source, but they're not able to make sense about each other. They're not able to talk to each other, or we're not able to collate them together. We definitely lack a lot of skilled workers to make sense of the data that is available. Well, they say data scientists, but how many data scientists today have the experience and knowledge to make sense of the data? Yes, you can write a few algorithms, but do you know the business together? So I think from a perspective of business, it is important to invest in such employees who have the perspective of the business, right? And who know the company and who know the data of the company, and who are able to find that holy grail of information, right? Which we need to figure out.
This is fascinating. When you talk about data management, can we just go about in using AI and ML and cognitive tech to use this data and glean intelligence and give us the insights that we need?
Say you're almost there, but not 100%. I would want to pitch in a couple of points here, because it's it's not about owning the Lamborghini; it's how to drive the Lamborghini, the way they say it, right? You can get all these fancy solutions, cognitive technologies, the way we mention it, right? AI, ML, natural language processing, but how do we use them for our benefits into the business, right? It's important to offer the same experiences across multiple touch points for all the businesses together. And that is something that is leading to the data that is getting accumulated from images, from video, from audio, from real data sources that the customers and partners are inputting. And in order to process such amounts of data through a single channel, we are looking at uh, cognitive solutions that really do make sense. So you're absolutely right there that um, the technologies that are available to us today, right, are able to help us in absolutely three distinct areas: to engage with our customers, to discover, right, and to take the decision that is needed. Most importantly, let's talk about uh, technology sets or solution sets that are available. You said artificial intelligence, machine learning, natural language processings. These are uh, really the key drivers of figuring out how to get this data into real insights for us. Now, not just figuring out the data, but let's talk about what are the advantages of these cognitive solutions for our customer experience journey. We are able to process millions of conversations, right? Chatbots that are out there that take care of everything that we could have done earlier with thousands of people together, right? we are able to mine data, which is lying in our silos, which is lying in our data warehouses, and now we are able to find real meaningful insights from them, right? We are able to interact better with our users. We are able to service them much better. We are able to seamlessly move from front end to back end, from back end to front end, and we are able to get insights from these decisions that were not present earlier, right? It's important to get the customers serviced really importantly, right, out there when they need it, and basically avoid their annoyance. I think it's very important that uh, for servicing the customers, we use such cognitive solutions because they are at the forefront of touch points across the process chain. So the entire business line, we can embed these cognitive solutions, right, which are giving us insight, cutting our costs, making the process efficient, or actually giving us insights when and where we need it, right? If you look at cognitive solution case use cases that are there, I would say there is not a business process left where these cognitive solutions have not had a major impact. Let's talk about sales and marketing. Campaign management, customer segmentation is being done very efficiently. Purchase and purchase predictions are being made very very accurately. So we are deploying these technologies to analyze customer behavior and formulate our growth strategies that we were not able to do within maybe months because we had to churn through data manually and then try to figure out what was done. Now it's done at the click of a button now, right? Research and development. Let's look at how we are able to analyze vast amount of research papers, vast amount of data that is collected over testing and predicting future outcomes. It's very, very important in IT operations, least being said, system monitoring, log analysis, and automation of various processes. I'm sure we've all heard about RPA and RPA tools that is bringing in the fantastic change all across our business ecosystems, right? Human resources, the latest and the greatest use case of cognitive technologies. Now, we are able to personalize experience for each talent, each individual out there. We are able to screen candidates using our technology tools, our cognitive tools, right? We are able to automate the entire recruitment process. The chatbots are able to tell us what is the policy that is written it for and what is the benefit, and they're able to illustrate that for us, right? If you look at the way we are able to select our candidates, we are able to profile them and then basically get our recommendations, which would be the best fit for this job. I think it's fantastic what cognitive solutions are doing. I think the biggest and the greatest, frankly, use case for cognitive solutions is the manufacturing industry. Our very own predictive analytics tools from Wurth IT, right? Um, we were able to develop that and use it really quickly on the process industry. For example, we are deploying that in the chemical space. We are deploying that in the in the cement space, and we are able to churn large amounts of data, which is past or current, right? And give out recommendations, give out insights to avoid failures and avoid costly mistakes. It's a great benefit for process industries. Let's not even go where IIoT is coming from, right? Industrial IoT. Now you have thousands of sensors all across your production chain. Can you imagine the amount of data that is coming in, and for a human being to make sense of it all? I think the age is of cognitive technologies. There is no denying it. Accounting and financing. We build predictive financial models. We are able to cut costs across the entire value chain by deploying RPA. And uh, the C-suite is able to have real-time financial dashboards for better decision making. I think the OEM players that are out there, be it SAP, be it Oracle, be it other tool sets, they're all having this real-time analytics embedded into their entire process chain, which is a lovely part. You have to experience it today. You have to see it for yourself today to realize how good and how beneficial it is for your industry. I think by harnessing the power of cognitive technologies, we can really generate great connections with our customers and derive fantastic value for our own businesses.
But how is all this manifesting to the end user, Abhishek? I mean, what are they encountering that is making them look favorably upon this whole proposition?
It's it's not how you see it or the perceived value. I think it's how you're able to use it, right? Um, when used correctly, uh, when you are able to avoid the biases, when you're able to really use the data that is present in your organization, I think three things come out really well, right? You have an absolute increased customer value. You have an entire experience that is coming out from the systems and the solutions that you are working with, and therefore leading to a great business value. I think all three of them, right, the customer, the experience, and the business, have increased value given to them. There are major advantages of cognitive automation solutions, right? We have speed and precision of processes. We are able to service our customers much better. Things that a human being was not able to do earlier, a chatbot is able to, represent us across the entire value chain of a process. Now, we are able to cut the response time to our customers. We are able to eliminate errors. We are able to increase efficiency all across our business chain. We are able to deliver better results. Um, if used properly and if used the way it is supposed to be done, I think adopting cognitive solutions is a no-brainer today, and it will enable businesses to gain intelligence in real time, have a single view of our customers, right, across the channels, segment them properly based on their purchase history, demographics, what is required, and roll out the targeted solutions the way they need it today. I think this was not understood correctly earlier, but I think now when you're looking at your company as a data driven organizations, you're really able to see what benefit a cognitive solution is able to offer to you. So I think it's a matter of getting started. It's a matter of getting your users, your partners, uh, you know getting onto these technology sets and these solution sets, and I think everybody would definitely benefit on from here on.
On that note, getting onto these technologies. So I'm a company and I have a consumer facing product. So how can I start my journey to harness all this power and really augment my business growth?
Wow. We learned this the hard way. So we call it, you have to become a data driven organizations. We ourselves went through this journey of realizing how important your data is, wherever it is coming out from. And if you're not looking at the data, you're not doing the right thing. It is not about intuition anymore. It is not about emotion anymore. It's about what the data is telling you, right? So a very smart friend of mine told me once, you have to become a data driven organizations. Companies have to become data driven organizations. And well, what we have to do is we have to start somewhere, all of us, right? We have to get these quick wins by deploying these solutions, by deploying these initiatives all across the organizations, where we start building credibility in the investments in the data that we see, right? We have to build these high impact use cases where everybody sees the business momentum that they're able to generate. We see firms that invest in data capabilities and technology are able to clearly define what their business would need in the near future. And instead of failing, I think it is important to fail fast, the way they say. I think businesses and organization needs to give it a try over and over again till they get it right. It's never going to be one time right solution, because it's a thing that you need to get accustomed to. It's a thing that you need to use, and it's a thing that you need to get a complete control of, right? Companies would re-examine the ways they think about the data as a business asset of their organization. Well, they say that the data flows like a river through the organization, I think, but it must be managed from the point A to the point B, and the consumption and the utilization of data should be very well defined. I think if we are able to obtain all the relevant data sets, analyze it correctly and quickly, surface actionable insights, and drive them back into our operational systems, we can see that we are able to affect events as they are unfolding, right, in the journey of our business. And the ability to catch people or things in the act can affect outcomes. And I think it is extremely important for us as businesses in this century today that we step in when it is needed, not think about it post facto, right? So my suggestion, my recommendation to all the businesses out there is, I think you should apply cognitive solutions into your products, processes, and gain insights out of it, right? You have to embed cognitive solutions into your product and service to enhance end user experience. You have to embed cognitive technologies with workflow processes to automate and improve your operational efficiency. And definitely, you have to derive insights by embedding cognitive technologies to get access to advanced analytical capabilities. I think that would be my humble submission.
Abhishek, thank you so much for plugging in today and talking to us about how we should be thinking about crafting multi channel and omni channel experiences that are truly transformational and path breaking. I mean, there's so much for us to think about and consider to see just how we can use this thinking and the tech at hand to transform businesses and experiences. Thanks again, Abhishek.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Take care. Stay safe.